Welcome to Around the World and Beyond. I'm Jack Hart. A health food guru in the 1970s told us that parts of the pine tree are edible. He died in his late 60s. Splinters were mentioned in his autopsy report. I'm not sure what part of the pine tree he was eating. Pine nuts, pinoles, piñons. Do you know about these tasty little morsels? They're like nature's plant-based bacon bits. Toast them up, toss them on a baked potato, on a salad, vegetables, ice cream. Pulse them in a processor for a perky pesto. Put them out in a bowl for company instead of peanuts. Grown at elevations between 1 mile and 1.5 miles above sea level in mountainous regions around the world, pine nuts are not nuts. The FDA classifies them as tree nuts, but they are in fact the seeds of pine trees. They occur between the scales of the pine cone. Of nearly 200 species of pine tree, roughly 20 produce seeds suitable for human consumption. In the Americas, pine nuts mostly come from the Mexican and Colorado piñons. The most suitable trees are at least 25 years old, better at close to 50 years old. It takes about 2 years from formation to maturity before the cone can be harvested. Harvesters have a narrow window of time to pick the right cones while they're still green. Then the cones are packed in burlap bags and baked in the hot mountain sun for 3 weeks. Then the bags are smashed against rough surfaces. The smashed cone pieces are sorted, the nuts picked out by hand. The hard shell around the nut is then cracked off to expose the soft, nutty, buttery ovals that are the pine nuts. People ask me, they say, "Jack, how come pine nuts are so pricey?" Now you have an idea as to why. The largest commercial producers in the world are in Russia, the Himalayas, Afghanistan, and alpine regions of Europe. They seek out the stone pine. High in fiber, pine nuts are 15% protein, 15% carbohydrate, and 70% fat. They are loaded with micronutrients, manganese, magnesium, phosphorus, copper, zinc, vitamins K, E, and B. Humans in Europe, Asia, the Americas, they've been using pine nuts for more than 6,000 years, oftentimes as medicine, to cure gout and cataracts, and as a general tonic for strength and vigor. Libido languishing? The ancient Romans would tell you, pop a few pine nuts and pow, waka waka waka. Chop 'em, mash 'em, lightly toast 'em in a sauté pan, mix them with ground meat, bake them into cookies, mix them with butter and basil for pesto, butter and garlic for garlic bread, bake them on a chicken, toss them in spaghetti, crush them and crust a fish. Pine nuts are high in fat. Don't store them too long, they will lose their flavor. Pine nuts ain't cheap, around $25 to $30 a pound right now, but they are also nutritious, versatile, and freaking delicious. Pine nuts, around the world and beyond. Brought to you by JackHartVoiceover.com on the Valiant News Network.